Welcome to Rushmead School. This is an outstanding school despite being in a challenging area. My name's Carolyn Robson and I'm the head teacher, but not the only one.
I'm Matthew Paris. I'm head here too. I share the leadership role with Carolyn. This programme looks at what makes Rushmead a success.
Lots of points awarded for good practice, good teamwork.
Du saucisson. C'est super!
Rushmead is a school in the north of Leicester. The area that surrounds the school is quite poor in socio-economic terms, but it's very rich in multicultural terms. Our children come in generally below national average, and last year, 84% approximately were coming out with 5 good GCSEs, so they are making significant progress.
Our contextual value-added score for the school remains in the top 10% of schools nationally on an annual basis, the latest figure being 1,025.
About 95% of our children come from British minority ethnic backgrounds. Many live in very overcrowded conditions in old terraced houses, sometimes with quite large extended families living in one house.
Some of the challenges that occur living in that kind of environment are brought into school from time to time. So we have to work very hard to make sure that the students really engage with us.
We've got a number of activities here that we've tried and tested in recent years that are worth sharing with other people.
What makes us successful? Shared leadership.
Sharing roles with people, particularly at the top, and sharing complementary skills is a much more effective way of working than trying to be a hero head. I'm completely against the notion of one person being solely in charge of the ship.
I think the job of headship nowadays is really a massive one. There are so many different aspects to that it's very difficult for one person to take that all on, whereas if we work in partnership together, it works very successfully.
Hello.
Hi, you're right. It can be quite a lonely experience being a head teacher, whereas this really isn't. This is a great way of sharing ideas, of talking things through, of changing minds and being able to make some quite imaginative decisions, I think. So tell me how you actually produce the effect, with the different colours and everything.
People might argue that the children and the parents or the staff might find it confusing, who's the head. And actually, people are very comfortable with the fact that either Matthew or me may be involved in an assembly or a parents' evening or letters that go out from both of us. People have become more and more comfortable. And in fact, I think probably more secure, because there's a backup all the time. There's always one of us around to take on whatever issues or ideas that crop up.
Sustainability Day is really, really important because
has actually been so effective that largely we've moved that way through all our post holders. So we have 2 heads of PE shared together, 2 heads of modern languages, 2 heads of maths.
2 heads are better than 1, basically, and we've both got separate strengths, which is a very positive aspect to how the department works.
Yeah, we work really well together. All the staff know they can approach either one of us or both of us at any time for any problems that they need to discuss.
I do a lot of the timetabling and structure of the lessons, etc. Jay does a lot of the budget and Key Stage 4 examination role. He's an ideas man as well. Yeah.
The roles need to be clarified and there needs to be an agreement and that you will be united. That's really, really important, that both people have to work well together and be united on any front that they share. Then it will definitely work. I would recommend this to any school. It's a really effective model of leadership.
We've been heads of faculty for a number of years. We've both had a clear vision of what we want from our faculty. We both work really well together as a team.
Leading a large group of people could be quite a lot of pressure, and the shared leadership role enables you to share that pressure and share those tasks so that you can just support each other and bounce ideas off each other.
Is Jackie doing a presentation for
Yes.
us? And how long's that sort of time for, Matt?
Probably only about 10 minutes.
Okay. It shares the leadership responsibilities. It makes it more attractive to people who might be a little unsure about whether they want to take on major areas of responsibility, but if they're doing it as a pair, it becomes a very different option.
Last April we were awarded our second specialism, which was in leadership, and Julie and I were appointed directors of the leadership specialism as a job share.
What we need to do is to make...
I know I do my job better working alongside somebody.
We have built-in thinking partners because we're able to bounce ideas off each other.
You don't think you're bugging somebody else whose job it isn't to think about your particular issues because you've got that
working relationship. You don't have to make a decision by yourself. It's brilliant. You've always got somebody there.
Definitely.
Another area that people have often asked me about is it a very expensive model, having two heads of everything. What we've actually done is flatten the structure in such a way that we probably have no more money being spent in the different posts across the school than in any other school. So we pair people up rather than having more of a hierarchy. You might visit another school where you have a head of maths and a second in maths and a third in maths, whereas here it's all shared across the top.
What makes us successful? Quality teaching and learning.
Ben. Facts is the white hat. What are the facts about the Black Death?
It was killing lots of people.
Okay.
If I had to advise another school on how to get their teaching and learning up to the standard that we're at, this is what I would say.
Who do they blame? Kasim.
Go out into your school, drop into lessons, talk to the staff, and you will always find some staff in your school who are really passionate about teaching and who see themselves as craftspeople. And then find mechanisms, formal and informal, to enable them to share that with their colleagues.
The red hat is your thoughts. What do you think?
They couldn't help them because they didn't have medicines.
There you'll reach the ones who are on the edges of that, who want to be good, who have some passion but maybe it's dormant. And then there'll be discussions about learning, discussions about techniques. Have you tried this? And that sense of everybody vying to be good, to be the best, that sort of healthy competition.
So après moi, répétez s'il vous plaît, du fromage.
Du fromage.
Du beurre. Du beurre. This is a very, very organised school with very set policies and procedures, so you know exactly what to do in every situation, and if you want to develop, if you want to progress in your fields, or you know exactly who to go and see and what training you will need as well.
Double jab, cross, pulse. Good work.
I feel I'm very supported in this school, much more than what I have been in previous schools. You know, I've just seen a fantastic difference in the welcoming of the students and also the support of the staff, not only with, you know, offering me courses and whatnot and ways of improving my credentials, but also, you know, just in general, you know, general chats in the corridor, how you're getting on.
Big kick.
It is a big supportive environment, really.
Well done. Je laisse les mots là pendant 3 minutes.
When we're trying to encourage youngsters coming in from university to join the teaching profession, we actually advertise on our website two types of opportunities. One of them is just maybe a day or a week's placement, and the other one is actually encouraging them to come and spend a whole year with us as a teaching assistant. By bringing in youngsters and then working alongside some of our teachers who may have been here for 10, 20 years, it's actually a knock-on effect two-way, that it helps you to enhance your own teaching skills because you're actually encouraging and mentoring and supporting others.
Can somebody tell me how changing the temperature affects the solubility?
The solubility will increase as more salt was dissolved.
OK, well done, excellent. Well done. I would recommend any school to get as many PGCE students in. They get a lot out of it, it helps them to develop. It's good for the school in terms of professional development for their mentors, but also I've learnt a lot from observing other teachers. I've picked their good ideas and used them in my lessons. What sort of things do you think you've done? We've developed a reputation for really looking after our PGCE students, giving them lots of support. And that's a key to a successful school. People want to get in here. There's lots of people who would love to be working at Rushmead.
I think we felt a few years ago we were missing out on some of our vulnerable children. We assumed that just because they were 11, they were ready to go into secondary school. And now we've adjusted that.
Whose turn is it now?
At Rushmead we call this provision Tailored Learning Curriculum, which is TLC for short, and it is actually a nurture group. For children really that may find transition from primary to secondary quite challenging. We have here 3 members of staff, 2 teachers and 1 teaching assistant in a group of about 10 students. We normally withdraw them from English and maths lessons, and then we work very much in a collaborative way. If we really care about children, the whole child, not just the academic, then this provision should be in every school, I believe, because there will always be children that need a nurture group.
What makes us successful?
Social responsibility.
Rushmead has quite an unusual school motto, which is be concerned. But what it has is a subtext to that, which is be concerned and do something about it.
So I'm here to talk to you today about Sustainability Day. You could help change the world's future.
One of the things that really underpins our whole social responsibility agenda is our assembly programme. And on a weekly basis, we have a very well structured, timetabled set of assemblies that really make the young people think about global issues, local issues, and we try and present those in a way that really relates to them.
I pledge to use recycling bins at home and at school. Use the green boxes at home and in class instead of the bin for paper, plastic bottles and glass.
We have a divisional system, which I suppose is a little bit like a house system. But sitting at the core of that divisional system is charitable work, community work and citizenship work.
Yeah. We have put the flask in and have got tablets in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've gathered food for the Red Cross, we've taken part in the Haiti Aquabox appeal, and we have collected for food aid and water aid and children in need, to name just a few.
One of the things that makes Rushmead School here in Leicester very special is that we've got our own charity called the Rushmead Foundation. That came about in 2006 when there was a huge earthquake in Bhuj area in the Gujarat in India. Every year there's a trip that goes out there, including staff and students alike. The trip is funded through fundraising. Last year, when we visited the Rushmead Foundation School, it was my first ever trip to India. The area that we were going is where my family were from, so it was a real exciting opportunity to go there.
The best thing about it, being at the school, was bonding with the kids over there. It was a real eye-opener because they're so happy with what they've got, and to be honest, compared to what we have in Rushmead, it's not much. It just gives the pupils, like myself, an idea of what it is like somewhere else in a completely different area.
Oh, what?
Even though it's very different there, the personality-wise is quite similar. They still have the same interests and they still have laughs and stuff like that.
You can't even get to the end.
Oh, shut up, yeah.
We've been trying to pin down what it is that makes Rushmead so successful. And we think that it's the relationships that exist between the staff and the students.
You have to get relationships right. And if you don't get that right, really nothing else will work. We support each other effectively. And I think that, beyond everything else, is what pulls the school forward and makes it successful.